Welcome to Story Trading, live trading. Rhett, you hear it. If you want to join us, just hop in. I see you're in the studio. There's Rhett.
Afternoon, Ben. How's it going, guys? How's it going?
Going interesting. Going very interesting. We got the QQQ chart up here. I gotta say, I did call it, and it's been difficult for me to execute on the trading account. However, I did go to 35% cash in my retirement account, which I never do. My retirement account is like always 90 to 100% invested. And ever since FOM, perfect call day after day, went to yellow alert, went to red alert. Yesterday, I got a little bit wrong last night. This open green candle yesterday, the reaction to the SCOTUS oral arguments. Today was the first day I said, you know what? I'm not going to play puts anymore. I had puts overnight. I sold them all at the open. Oh my gosh, Rhett. But look, it could have been a lot worse. I could have been, 100% invested in my trading account and still buying every catalyst and everything like that. I'm like 90% cash right now in my trading account, 35% cash in the retirement account. We've been giving the warnings to our community every single day that this could happen. We'll get into a little bit of a technical analysis of why I thought this would happen and what could come next. We'll do that in just a minute. Let's just set the schedule, though. We're going to be live trading here probably till 1 or 1:30. Actually, no, till at least 1:30. All right, till at least 1:30. We're going to be doing live trading over here. Maybe we'll get some guests and analysts from our community. Dougie Fresh, Laptop Travel, Yosef, whoever wants to jump in, you're welcome to jump in during the live trading. We are going to have, we're going to be interviewing the CEO of Mobilicom, MOB, microcap drone company. That's coming up in just 20 minutes. Okay. We're going to interview him. Now, before that, I want to let everyone know there's an opportunity to win 200. We're going to be giving away $200 instantly to your Venmo or PayPal or whatever you use by the end of the day today. All you have to do is go to Story Trading. Just go to search, go to Story Trading Spotlight. We have a new separate X account just for like CEO interviews that we do. So you go to Story Trading Spotlight. The handle is storytrading_IR. You'll see a link to that also. It's in the pinned tweet in our regular Story Trading account. You go to that pinned tweet, it'll take you right to Story Trading Spotlight. And what you need to do is look for the pinned tweet on Story Trading Spotlight. Let's pull it up together so you can be on the same page. You go to the pinned tweet on Story Trading Spotlight, the one that says "Welcome to Story Trading Spotlight." This is where you'll be first to the story. You see that tweet? I want you to like that, retweet it, make sure you're following this account. Okay. So as long as you like it, retweet it, make sure you're following this account, then you are eligible. Brett, tell them how it works. So the $200. Just go through the process there. Are we going to do it live on air? You have a way to do that, right?
Oh yeah. Dougie Fresh is here. Dougie Fresh Picks is here. Welcome, Dougie. Yeah,
how are you guys?
Amazing. Good. So what you guys do, all you guys have to do is like and retweet and be a follower of that account, and then I'm going to put it all into a wheel. So whoever has all three of those at the end of the stream, I'm going to spin the wheel live on the stream, and then whoever wins,
that'll be fun.
So whoever it lands on is going to win the $200. So
and it can go to our Discord members as well. Anyone is eligible. QQQ peeking up a little bit here. So okay, that's the schedule. So we got 20 minutes of live trading. We're going to be talking about QQQ a lot and IWM. Then again, 12:30 is going to be the Mobilicom interview. But hang on, live trade after that. Then we spin the wheel to see who wins the $200. Okay.
How about that QQQ, huh?
Yeah, look. So as I said earlier,
looks like it wants to go up here.
Okay. So as I said earlier, in fact, let me get our
You know what's starting to get legs right now. Before we speak about that, let's look at Tesla real quick, especially with this vote coming up here in a little bit.
Yeah, it took a nice dip.
Yeah, down 4%.
And now it looks like it's trying to cruise back up. Maybe the market's getting turned around now that the Qs went all the way down. And
slow down, Cowboys. I want to explain the macro. I want to explain the macro and how we got here, how we knew it was coming, and what can come next from like a little bit of a longer term perspective rather than the tick by tick. We can get into the tick by tick in just a second. But all right, let's see. I just want to show you the a macro note from yesterday morning. Well, you know what? You go back to these. I'll just show the structure of these. We have this morning note. We talk about the performance, the prior day performance, up near 600% for the year. And I've had this macro note where I've been talking about since FOMC that 613 was a target I was looking for. It's all on paper. We documented all of this. So 613 was a target I was looking for on QQQ, and FOMC was the catalyst. And of course, overvaluation and everything that comes along with it. But there's also all these gaps. We had all these gaps to the upside, and I was like screaming. I'm like, what the hell is this? These gaps have to fill. This is ridiculous. Like QQQ is moving like a penny stock. These gaps are going to fill, right? And I gave you guys a 613 target, and that 613 went to 612 overnight the other night. And this is the mistake I made. I didn't execute right. I was loaded in puts, guys, and SQQQ. I didn't have market access, and then you saw what happened the next day, and basically, long story short, I got shaken out. I even said yesterday, I said 627 is your resistance. You can short again up near 627. It got to 626.60. I did short a little bit up there with Q puts, but then I just threw in the towel this morning. The first day I didn't have any exposure to puts since FOMC 1, 2, 3, 4. Every day I've been playing for a crash. And then this morning I threw in the towel because the indices got stick saved on the major moving averages yesterday. IWM, look at that stick save of the 50 DMA, QQQ. Looked like, for a moment there that we didn't need to retest the 20 DMA again. I had a thesis originally that I put out yesterday morning. I said, yeah, I know we hit that 20 DMA in the futures overnight, but we need to hit that 20 DMA in regular hours. That was the thesis I put out there, but I didn't listen to myself. And, when I saw the strength yesterday and in pre-market today, I decided to take the opportunity. I think to sell all my QQQ puts and UVXY calls. Man, those UVXY calls were so cheap. But anyway, that's the story how we got here. We called it the hallway. Some people killed it who executed better than me in their trading accounts, trying to short the market. As I said, for myself, I didn't do well executing in the short-term account, but in the long-term account, I'm sitting pretty at like 30, 35% cash. Now, where can we go from here? I've been saying in the morning note over the last week or so that when you come and test the 20 DMA, see this 50 DMA? I've been talking about this for a long time. This is your ultimate bull trend line for the year that was established coming out of the Liberation Day low, like V-shaped recovery, Liberation Day recovery low, 50-day moving average, long-term bull line. And we've tested the 20 DMA on many occasions and breached it on many occasions during this bull run this year. And I did some math on this. I looked at these instances, and it was 4 out of 6 tests of the 20 DMA resulted in the failure of the 20 DMA on the same day, 67% of the time. And lo and behold, did it again here. Now, 5 out of 7 times this year, you did not hold the 20 DMA on the test of the 20 DMA. 5 out of 7 times this year. And then what happens? You make a move towards the 50. It only touched the 50 once here on September 2nd. But this is your bull trend line. As long as they're above that bull trend line, I know it feels terrible. I know a lot of people might get wiped out. Retail who's over levered, and we all been there. We all go through that. That's part of the ritual. You got to get wiped out at least once. If you're a retail trader and learn about margin and leverage and options. I've been there. I've been wiped out at least once. So you learn that lesson, all right? And then you come right back at it and you don't make that mistake in the future. So a lot of people are going to get wiped out because of this. It's painful, but it's really just a correction in a bull market, at least on the Qs. However, IWM might be a different story. This is really dangerous, guys. This is bad news right now. And this all started with FOMC, with Jerome Powell. We called it in real time. We had a stream listening to Powell in real time. I said, that's it. Game over, guys. IWM's going down because Powell said the third rate cut is not guaranteed. That was a problem. It's been terrible since then on IWM. And now, what did I just say about the 50 DMA bull trend line? Same story with IWM. It's that same bull trend line. And now we're below it. We're briefly below it. This is what tricked me yesterday. And I finally... Because of yesterday's candle, I threw in the program of let me have put exposure every day for a crash. Oh my gosh. So any case, we're down back below the 50. This is not good. A close below the 50. I'm sorry, it's not good. And I've been saying this for days. You don't want to be in shitcos. You don't want to be in small cap companies that are not having a major inflection to profitability. You got to look at fundamentals. You got to also, even if the fundamentals are good, you got to look at the chart. Look at ONDS. I've been saying, like, this thing can still, okay, here we go. Here's some support on ONDS at $5.14 maybe. Okay. Actually, I started picking up ONDS in my retirement account yesterday after I sold it way up there. We played this thing like a fiddle this year. But in any case, it's not good to be below the 50 DMA in any of these indices, and IWM, it's a problem right now. Okay. I would, what does this mean? This means high levels of cash. You don't want to jump on every catalyst. Quality is really important. Only play the best catalysts that are like inflection point catalysts. Now, there's a good transition into stocks. I thought Snap was an inflection point catalyst last night. Maybe it is. Maybe it was. It's still up 10%, but this has been difficult. today. I was up even this morning when the markets were down. I was still up nicely on Snap, but then the bottom fell out a few minutes before the show. Right, I said I sold all the common shares, but I replaced it with 750 call options expiring next week. I just felt, I felt good that this is going to hold, but it was really hard holding it because it was a big position, a lot of capital at stake, and I didn't want to put all that capital at stake. It just felt better to be in 750 calls because I can only lose 60 cents. I bought them for like 59 cents or something. Whereas who knows, if there's a major crash, you never know what happens. Like with all those shares, if Snap goes to like, who knows, $7, $6, anything's happened. I've been doing this for 30 years. I've seen everything and then some. All right. So that's what I did with the Snap. And this was the number one pick of the day. It looked like it was working. Bottom fell out of it. It might still work, but right now I'm playing it via 750 calls expiring next week. Our number one pick. Look at it come back. Now I wish I also didn't take the loss on the common shares. But anyway, at least I got the calls right now. All right. That was a mouthful. I'll pause right there for whoever wants to give some feedback on those thoughts so far.
Yeah, no, your Qs took a nice dip today. That's for sure. We were definitely on the money. We just didn't execute it like we should have. And
Yosef did. And I'm sure a lot of people else in our community did.
Oh yeah, a lot of people definitely did.
We were so close, and it was my fault. I went on the show this morning, and I'm like, I have these Q puts from overnight. I have these UVXY calls, and the market's opening down just a tad after we had this stick save yesterday. I'm like, let me just take my profit and run, And I was like, by the way, I was still at yellow alert this morning, guys. Yep. I was still at yellow alert. I specifically said on the show this morning, I said, I'm not convinced that this is over. We can still go to 20 or 50, but because of that stick save yesterday, I don't have confidence to short. I'm also not going to go long it, but I don't have confidence to short. And what I said was, I want to see us hold the 20 DMA through tomorrow. And I said, if we hold the 20, and this, I did write it down the macro note this morning. I said, if we hold the 20 DMA through tomorrow, then we'll go to green alert. Until then, we're still on yellow alert. Unfortunately, yesterday's price action shook me out of the insurance that I was holding for 5 or 6 days.
So let's check out right now. That's breaking news. Let's check out Pepsi and KO, PEP and
what's going on?
Kennedy about to announce dietary guidelines that will change America's food culture.
Okay. So Pepsi and Co.
What are the other ones?
Really. Frito-Lay. I don't know. No real reaction. Actually, they're up tomorrow. It looks like some.
Pepsi looks like
some rotation into maybe some low PE companies here this morning that may be going on. Let me just. That reminds me of Celsius, which I shit the bed this morning, which I got wrong on Celsius. I bought it in pre-market, and wow.
It's down 26% now.
Almost 30%.
Glad I took a loss on that.
Yeah.
Earlier, but, yeah. In any case, all right. Let's go back and evaluate this stuff a little bit further. So, and here's what I want to say: QQQ broke that 612 low that was put in the futures market the other night. It broke below it. Now, there is one other level, which is the close on October 23rd. When I look at gap fills, I like to go by high of day, which was 611.37. But I guess some people might go by the close, which is 610.58 on October 23rd. So 610.58. What was the low of the day? 610.37. So that's a possible area of support. However, based on the history here of what happens after you break the 20 DMA, I mean, look at it. It basically goes halfway towards the 50 each time. It's been basically going halfway towards the 50. But I have to say, there is risk down to the 50, especially seeing IWM breaching the 50. With IWM breaching the 50, I think this increases the chances that QQQ will actually test or touch the 50. And I have an history. I know this may sound crazy, but that it's possible it happens today, guys. It's possible we get all the way down to 600 or so today on QQQ. So, in fact, you know what? I've been foolishly trying to play a bounce. I was looking for like 612, 613 intraday bounce today, and it hasn't really worked out for me. Guys, I think I might just, especially since I'm doing this live show and the interview, I think I'm just going to bail on trying to find a bounce off 612, 613 We're at 610, 611. I don't know. Is it worth all the stress? I don't know if it's worth it.
I don't know either.
I mean, I got some call options November 10th, 613. But the thing is, it's like I don't have conviction in it because I'm just looking for an intraday bounce off that 612, 613. But I think the odds are you're going to test that 50. And it's a Friday. There's a lot of fear on Friday. You could test that 50 overnight.
Yep.
You could test that 50 overnight tonight.
Or early tomorrow.
Or end of the day tomorrow in a mad fear and run to the exits. That could happen too. So, all right, I just still those calls. I don't want to worry about them while I'm doing the interview. So, what are the comments over here? Yeah. Oh yeah, the repost the stream. That's great. Go ahead, repost that. So here's a reminder: if you want to win $200, we're running out of time. We have 5 minutes, 6 minutes until the interview. The interview is going to be about 30 minutes. You want to stay on. By the way, I'll be peaking, and I'm going to tell CEO of Mobilicom, I'm like, this is a special day. And if something comes up, with a QQQ or some news or whatever, we may have to briefly interrupt you to give you that breaking news. But in any case, we'll do that for 30 minutes and we go right back to live trading. But once again, $200 cash right to your Venmo today. All you got to do is go to Story Trading Spotlight, go to the pinned tweet, not the regular Story Trading account, Story Trading Spotlight account. Go to the pinned tweet, like it, retweet it. Make sure you're following Story Trading Spotlight. The handle is Story Trading _IR. You can get there right from our bio or the pinned tweet. I think it's a pinned tweet in the Story Trading account. Okay, so now that being said, let me just see. Well, I'm up 7% on the Snap call options now, but yeah, I'm down big on Snap today though. Overall, all right. What else we got here? UVXY obviously also could be a leading indicator. You got to look at that. Try to identify, a bull trend line intraday on this thing, and that also helps you kind of figure out what might be. It's not clear though today. It broke below that 50. It's been choppy and now it hasn't been clear. See, I was looking at this. This is also what faked me out yesterday. I was looking at this line, and this was such a reliable line. You see this 30-minute.
6 people so far, guys.
Only 6 people eligible for $200.
Yeah.
Well, your chances of winning right now, you got a 20% chance, 18% chance of winning.
Yeah.
$200. All right, you got to follow the account, like and repost all 3. Otherwise, you're not eligible. All right. Okay, but this is also what faked me out yesterday,
Two
guys.
more people.
Yeah, look at what faked me out. You see this purple line? This is the 200 period moving average on the 30-minute candles on UVXY. And it was just so reliable. Like we started really having a lot of weakness in the Qs after we broke above it. And there was a lot of volatility. As long as we stayed above it, I was happy. I was like, okay, let me stay in the puts. We broke below. Look at this fate. And then it was a W bottom here since yesterday. And boom. Anyway, all right. I digress. We got to be happy that we've been advising people for 5-6 days to take risk off the table and go to elevated cash positions. That definitely saved a lot of people from a lot of things. All right. We got only 4 minutes left. Any final comments on either any individual stocks? I didn't even get a chance to talk about Rockwell. I thought I made money on this and lost it. I mean, it's been a crazy morning, unfortunately.
Q's dipping about to be another low a day here in a second.
Yeah, Q's about to dip down. Yep.
Oh, I think I sold all my little. Yeah, I did sell those. Okay, good. I'm not trying to find the bottom anymore. And yeah, 6. So yeah, 6. And by the way, there's a level in here, not exactly 600. Let me see if I could go find it again. Okay. I think right around, I would say maybe 603. I think that's the level I put in the Discord earlier. I said 600 to 603 is possible today. 600 to 603 possible between today and end of day tomorrow. Okay, between today and end of day tomorrow, 600 to 603. But it's actually possible today. I mean, this is there's precedent for this. Look at this candle on October 10th. I mean, this candle is just half the size of that drop on October 10th. So it's not such a crazy idea to say we can go to 600 to 603. But the real warning is IWM's now below the 50. Trouble, guys. That's sad. It's sad for me and a lot of retail traders who like to trade smaller caps and mid caps and growth stocks and micro caps and things like that. You really need IWM on your side for that. Like people who just trade the mega caps, it's more about having QQQ on your side. So it's that's kind of a little bit sad that IWM's below these moving averages right now. That big one, the 50.
Yeah, it's not a good sign, huh?
I don't think it's a good sign. I mean,
No,
look,
not at all.
I'm not a technical trader. I'm a story trader, and that's a good interlude to say story trading is about anticipating technical breakouts before they happen based on catalysts. We start with the catalyst. I live in the news feed. I live in media and social media and TV and seeing. So that's where I start my trading.
Did you restart your computer? It just it cut out.
I did. I don't know. I might need a new computer then. But so I live in the news feed. So story trading starts with the catalyst. That's our first of 4 pillars. So we have a 4-pillar process at story trading. We start with the catalyst. We analyze the impact of the catalyst on sentiment. We analyze the impact of the catalyst on fundamentals. Then and only then do I look at technicals and triangulate with the chart to come up with a trade plan. That's our 4-pillar process here at story trading, where by doing that, we anticipate price movements. We anticipate technical breakouts and technical breakdowns before they happen. That's the magic of story trading.
All right, guys, we got 1 minute. We have the CEO of Mobilicom in the back now. So,
all right, I'm going to hop off.
All right, take care, Dougie.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
Yeah. So I was leading to something. Why did I say that? I don't know. I remember why I said that. But in any case, this is your last chance now to qualify to win that $200 cash prize on Venmo. Just go ahead and give them the instructions, Rhett, one last time on how to win that $200.
Yeah, so go over to the storytrading_IR account. Just like the pin tweet, retweet it, and all you have to be is following the account for your chance to win. So far, we only have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people to win.
You have an 11% chance of winning. All you got to do is follow that account and like and retweet it. Okay.
All right, let's get started here.
Yeah, let's reset. Let's do the countdown and reset the banners. Awesome. Hit that countdown for me.
Doing that now.
Good afternoon, Oren El-Kayam. Welcome, CEO of Mobilicom. How you doing?
Hi, Ben. Great to see you again.
How Absolutely. Are you doing yourself? Yes, we talked to you, I don't know, a few months ago. We had an interview with you. By the way, before we get into this, I just want to reiterate the schedule for folks watching. I know it's a crazy day in the market right now. Oren, you picked a great day to come on. Like the sky is falling right now in the stock market. But we're going to stay on after the interview and resume live trading. And we're also going to do that spin the wheel live to see who won the money for following that new account. So stay tuned for that. Now, also, before we get started, I do want to just share my screen for a second and show you these drone stocks, because we have been on top of this drone theme very, very early, us here at Story Trading. It all started with Red Cat. Like we were in Red Cat at like $1 or $2, thanks to the Godfather knows. We made a killing on that. And then we got into UMAC before anyone ever heard of it. Like literally before the day before the spike, it was crazy. We got in the day before Donald Trump Jr. joined the board. That was insane. And then we got into Mobilicom. We were one of the first, maybe the first like high profile account on X. It was like the weekend before it actually moved. It was all the way. It's probably like November 27th. It was a Friday or something like that. When we said, hey, Mobilicom looks like it's really cheap and really compelling down here. You might want to take a look at that. That's how it all started. So we got that credibility here in the small drone space. We've talked to most of those CEOs, Oren, over this last year. And when I first came across Mobilicom, I have to say before I get into the details of that, I just want to reiterate, Mobilicom here is a sponsor of our story trading program over here. We're going to have a hopefully long-term relationship here where we're going to be consistently on a regular basis following up with you, doing interviews with you at least once a month. On our new IR, Story Trading IR, any kind of developments that happen with the company, any press releases, you'll be first to know it if you're following that account and put on your alerts, okay? Now, in the meantime, I'm fully transparent with all my positions. I currently don't have a position in Mobilicom. If I decide to have a position in Mobilicom, I will transparently let everyone know about that, okay? Right now, it's all about just education and letting people know about Mobilicom and what the opportunities might be. And then if things change for me personally, I'm like, wow, this sounds great, I'll let you know that I'm buying Mobilicom, right? So that's the nature of our relationship here with Mobilicom. So as I said, Oren, we've been in this space for like a year, and we've been really excited and interested to learn about where you fit into all of that. There's just so much that's happened since last summer and since the last time we've talked to you. And as I said, the thing that sparked my interest in your company originally is when I went to look at your website, it seemed like you had a tremendous amount of proprietary, things going on there, patents and proprietary technology, and a really awesome management team. And to me, it looked like that aspect of it was head and shoulders above some of these other companies. You probably work with these companies. I'm not trying to put them down, but Arcat and UMAC, I'm like, that stuff doesn't seem so proprietary. They don't seem to have great management teams, and their market caps are much, much bigger than yours. Your market cap is still just $70 million. So that's what sparked my interest in working with you. And by the way, for full disclosure, we don't work with everybody. We turn down so much business. People want to work with us. I only work with companies where I think the fundamentals are good and there's a chance for tremendous upside. So I'm going to pause there, Oren. I just said a mouthful. And, the first thing I would just love to hear from you is how you view this whole industry in terms of all the different players, right? Where do you fit in with a Arcat, a UMAC, a ONDS? And I'd love to hear about, ONDS is buying every company in the world lately. I'm I just tell me where you fit in.
Every company in Israel, you mean?
What's that? In Israel, yeah, they're buying every drone. What are they going to buy you? We'll talk about that. Maybe they're going to buy you too, and I don't know. So tell us how you fit in to this whole industry as one of the microcap drone companies that a lot of people know about, but we'd like to learn how you fit into that.
Okay, so after this introduction, so I will present what we do differently. Is many of the companies that we see on the drone space, you mentioned Redcat, you mentioned Ondas, and others are all doing the drone or robotic system. They are the provider of the critical hardware. They are providing the entire system solution. While Mobilicom saying we don't want to do another drone or another solution that goes to this kind of application or another application in the market, we would like to provide the IP essential elements inside. So we would like to provide the cybersecurity, the software, and the hardware critical elements and sell it to all the drones or robotic manufacturers. And that's the differentiation. And as you mentioned, UMAC is also doing hardware solutions. What set us apart from UMAC is that we are basing our solution on very in-depth IP know-how and patents. So we own the technology, and we are going for the lucrative IP-based solution. And therefore, we are talking about ownership of the technology. We are talking about different gross margin and different kind of business. In nutshell, I will tell you what I believe. We prefer to be one-stop shop that sells to all drones or robotic manufacturers. And I don't care who is going to win as long as they will have Mobilicom solutions inside. And I'm talking again and again and again on Mobilicom position, much like the Continental or Bosch to the car industry. Okay, because we would like to sell the systems to all drones or robotics manufacturers. And that set us apart. The second thing is cyber is a killer application in this market. We cannot have autonomous platforms drones, robots, and anything else that will run in the sky or on the ground with high capability of AI decision making, and eventually have zero security as we have today. And this is a critical factor. Mobilicom is leading this market with the technology, with the standardization, with helping the industry to evolve in the security of those drones or robots. And we are already locking customers and partners on that. And so second differentiation is the cybersecurity. And if I allow me additional 10 seconds, is I believe that eventually within 2 years time, hardware will become commodity. But those that own the IP and software and operating system and cyber will be the winners of this industry. It's not that, I know I'm saying it because it's my opinion. Revolution after revolution after revolution, the operating system, the software side was the sticky business that continued to do the revenue, and not the hardware, which became commodity. And therefore, we aligning ourselves for what we believe will happen in the same industry, and we investing heavily in the IP of software and operating system and so on. And this is the glue that stick everything together, and that will last over years and make amazing gross margin of 90% for the company.
So these companies that are publicly small companies that the ones we talked about that everyone knows about, are ARCAT, UMAC, etc. Are they your potential customers, or are they competition in some way? Do they have their own solutions, or what are they using now for? You said cybersecurity. Is it mostly cybersecurity offer?
I will explain. We are offering different segments. We started the market with the data link and networking capabilities, which is a hardware that possesses a lot of our secret sauce IP and proprietary technology that we own down to the bit, versus Wi-Fi based solution that don't own this technology. We are very similar to Silvus, which was, by the way, acquired by Motorola for $4.4 billion just several weeks ago. This is one angle of what we are providing, and that is where we are embedded across multiple vendors worldwide. We have the ground control station, which is again another software and hardware and other complex solution that operate the drones or robotics. But then we have an array of software solutions. We have the electronic warfare resistance package, which is a software license that enable the drones to operate in those harsh environments. We all see 90% of those drones falling from the sky in Ukraine and in Russia, and you need such a software to enable your drone to operate in those harsh environments. We have the first to the market operate the cybersecurity for the platform, for the drone, for the NVIDIA and Qualcomm AI machines at the edge. And we are the operating system that secure the operation of those drones and glue all of the softwares and other elements and third-party elements together, and the cloud solution. So we are heavily embedded on different proprietary IPs that we created on cyber and software. In some of the segments, we have competitors. I mentioned Silvus, for example, in the data link and networking. I can say that like Silvus, we own the proprietary technology. We have the patents. And so therefore, we control the future of the company. But we are, I think, 30% of the price, and we are better match for the world of scalability and production and enabling the industry to scale with an American product. And on the software side and cybersecurity, we are the leaders. There is no other alternative solution which is based on the American standards that is available in the market that is already inking deals. This is Mobilicom.
Okay.
And this is it. So the customers that you mentioned, Ondas, obviously potential customer, they need data links, they need the cybersecurity, they need the cloud elements that we are providing, the electronic warfare. You mentioned Red Hat, definitely potential customer. Ellen from UMAC definitely could be a very strong partner for Mobilicom. We are not competing.
Oren, is Red Cat for real? Like, are they a legit company? I mean, they've been talking about like winning all this business from the government for like a year, and it's like it didn't show up. Like, I mean, are they a real possibility of being a good customer for you one day?
I met Jeff recently, and I had the pleasure of sitting with all of those CEOs that you've mentioned, all the top players that you mentioned.
Yeah.
In DC, it was 2 weeks ago, and then I can tell you that they own a strategic agreement to sell to United States Army drones for the SRR program, and that's a big thing. I
So if
think
they
that
get that, if they get that, do you get business from them?
implemented. We are not implemented with them yet. We hope to
Okay.
be implemented with them soon.
Okay.
And it's something that we're working on, and we hope to break through and help them with our cybersecurity, especially with the recent requirements. Everybody saw what happened with the army giving red flag to Palantir and Anduril on their cybersecurity issues. Obviously, they answer that they address those things, but the question is, if you have those vulnerabilities and nothing is there to protect you, what else will happen? So the fact that they fix it doesn't mean that it's not a problem. It means that someone can penetrate it and use it. And this is where Mobilicom come into the picture. So yes, all of those could be credible, great customers to Mobilicom. Ellen and Newmac could be a great partner because we are not competing. We are doing the high-end IP-based software and cybersecurity elements. They are doing the hardware that is, we want to make in America.
Okay. Can you tell us in terms of the technology that you offer, is that all built in house, or do you have any partnerships with that, like to help you build that technology?
So we are very proud to say that across the different solution of the cybersecurity software and the different hardwares that we have, it's all down to the bit belong to Mobilicom. Wow. We own it, we develop it, we can change it, we modify it. And some of the customers in the DoD in the United States love the fact that we control the future, we own it, and we can modify things to their need. In fact, in the recent year, where we've been working with partners in the United States and fielding solution to the different DoD forces, they had a roadmap land from Ukraine that we also work with them in parallel, and all of them will be able to, in short cycles, thanks to the fact that we control the technology. We own the technology, and that's a big, big barrier of ownership. And that's what set us apart from everybody else. We own the cybersecurity, we own the electronic warfare, we own the data link and communication, and that's a powerful move, which is exactly what, as I mentioned, Silvus had on the data link portion as well. I mean, like us, they don't have cyber like us, and that's why Motorola wanted it.
Yeah, and in fact, you know what? I'm gonna, for those of you who haven't seen it, I want to share my screen here. This is a Mobilicom website, and this is the reason I was interested in your company when I first learned about it. If you look at all the products you have here, and if you go to the team, I mean, and then I looked at the market cap. I'm like, whoa, something doesn't match up. I mean, at the time you were just like a $20 million market cap, so. It does appear that what you're saying is absolutely correct in terms of this proprietary, all these proprietary products you have. So that's pretty impressive. Now, has that and by the way, I want to make time for some recent news you had on launch of is it called Secured Autonomy, I believe, right? I'll make some time for that. So and by the way, you announced your ER coming up this morning. So ER is going to is next week, right?
Yep.
So ER is next, what is it, Thursday before the market opens? Yes. Next Thursday before the market opens is your ER. We'll talk about the Secured Autonomy launch in just a minute. But now we have a good background of your technology and everything. How has that translated so far into revenue for you? I want to start thinking about your market cap, right? Revenue versus market cap, revenue to date, what the future looks like for you. So if you can speak to that a little bit. Financials, yeah.
So the game for Mobilicom is to be embedded, designed into solutions of drones or robotics manufacturers. Some of them we discussed and some others we didn't discuss, but there are leaders in this market across the United States, Europe, and Israel, which are the biggest markets of drones or robotics creation and sales worldwide. And we are already embedded within 8 tier 1 players, 8 of them. Few in the United States, few in Israel, and few globally in Europe and Asia Pacific. And as they are progressing to mass production, we are scaling with them. yes, we have several millions of dollars in revenue today, and it's mainly from the existing product that exists for the last 3-4 years, which are the data link, the networking, the ground control, and some of the electronic warfare software. But going forward, we'll have more and more of the software solutions, cybersecurity, and cloud. And that will also improve the gross margin from 60% roughly today towards the 90% of the cyber and so on, which is phenomenal numbers. We anticipate that some of our customers, we hope that the shutdown will be closed and finished soon. As that will happen, we anticipate that some of our customers will scale to larger production. We had great meetings on AUVSI in Washington 2 weeks ago. Understood from our customers their plan of production scale up. We're aligned to them, and we will enable America and Europe to scale, and those numbers will go higher with the production. So we have few customers that are going to scale in the coming quarters, and their production sites are going to move forward, I think from January onward in their production. And that's the growth for the company. That's what we were seeing now.
When you say a tier one, what does that mean? Can you give us an example? You have 8 tier one customers. What do you mean by tier one?
If you ask me who are the tier one players in the United States for small size drones or robots, which is our focus area, group 1, group 2, I mean, right. Small drones, small robots, small loitering munition, kamikaze drones. I definitely see top 3 names over there, which is Teledyne FLIR, which is having 4 division solutions that are selling to United States and beyond in commercial and in defense. There is AeroVironment and there is Anduril. Those are the big players.
Anduril was the last one you mentioned?
Yes.
Anduril. Ooh.
Yes.
So are you suggesting that Anduril?
They have loitering munition, and they have drone solutions, and they have other alternative unmanned systems. But
are you suggesting that Anduril might be a customer?
I'm suggesting that all of the drones or robotics manufactured to the small size are targets of Mobilicom, and we will approach all of them. Some of them are already customers, some of them are in integration, and as soon as we can make it public, we will make it public.
Okay.
And we are showing growth on the market share by the fact that we are taking more customers that understand. I mean, we've done phenomenal milestone this year, and they understand that. We have made our product American product. We have the Blue UAS certification across multiple products. We've done the Trusted Cyber of United States. We've done the NDAA production and testing of United States. We have embedded our solution across multiple programs of record that was tested and evaluated in the field by the US soldiers for Marines and SOCOM and so forth. Fielded more than 1,500 elements into the field. So all of that momentum and innovation and so on created credibility for Mobilicom solution. We have shown great results in Ukraine. We have served on board of solutions in the Israeli war and cross the border on a weekly basis. We ramp up additional players and solutions and additional design wins. All of that happened this year. And the magnificent cybersecurity innovation that we are leading this market with the innovation and solution to the market that is going to be the biggest player of Mobilicom. So those amazing things are seen by the industry. They understand and respect our capabilities and understand that the future is bright, and therefore they want to join the game.
Okay, but financially, how's that translate into what? Can you tell us roughly what I'd like to know is what your revenue run rate now is, and what your revenue run rate needs to be to get to break even. Can you share that?
Yes. So whatever I can say is that you've seen what we had result for the mid-year. So the mid-year, the results were that we had 1.6 roughly revenue, and then 1.5 roughly backlog to be fulfilled in 2025. That was mid-year. So we're already running on a rate which is exceeding the $3 million, and we intend to do more than that. And in addition to that is the bright future that we see with the scalability of our customers that are deploying into United States and into Europe, which are scaling from January in their production, and from quarter to quarter you will see more. One example that was seen, and it's already something, it's not wannabe solution, it's already happened. We had one of the biggest tier ones in the United States in the small drones robotics, which is our customers. We worked with them for the last 4 years. And quarterly wise, on the initial deployments that they had in the United States, we received, small orders of $250,000, $200,000 on a quarterly base, roughly. The last quarter was $1.6 million because the United States is scaling. As the United States is scaling, they are scaling production, and we with them. So you can anticipate what can go on forward as they are winning more programs of record and getting to larger market because of their wins. And we understand that if they have to manufacture 5,000, 10,000 of those systems, we will have $20 million or $40 million contracts with that, because this is the numbers. We have this segment of their drone. Okay, we are making this amount of the drone size, and as they are scaling, as they already do, and you see in the last quarter, we will scale with them. That's simple question.
So you're at 3 million run rate as of the last report, right? We'll get new numbers next week. But in terms,
if you are taking the backlog and the revenue, it's
right.
It's seen that it's 3 million, but we will do more than that. Yeah.
Okay. And what's your break even? What do you need to get
the break even is roughly between $10 to $12 million.
10 to 12. And what kind of cash do you have available?
So back in June, we said that we had $8 million back in June, and that was and we are consuming around $3.5-ish million a year.
Okay.
But that's not relevant anymore because we have more funds and more warrants that were exercised.
I see.
So the new report will show that we have actually increased significantly our cash position and build. When you're working with the large contractors and the biggest of United States and Europe and Israel, you have to show them a credible balance sheet so they can trust that you can scale with them. Those are giants. They plan to do billions of dollars from this field, and we have strengthened our cash position and built a longer runway to enable us the larger scalability that we anticipate from 2026 onward.
Nice. Okay, so you touched on a little bit, but I'm not 100% clear. What is the catalyst that needs to happen? You talked about these orders of like $20 million or whatever. What needs to happen? Is it related to the government shutdown now? Like, what needs to happen? What catalyst needs to happen so for you to win like some $10-20 million contract? And what is the rough timing on when that might happen?
I think that, as I said earlier, some of our customers already received scalability requests and start deployment for the US, and that momentum is going to continue. I believe that they could win a significant program of record that will start scaling from January 2026, and that means that they will, and they will continue to produce more because they already fielding more units, and they already have obligation to field more units, and as they will do that, we will scale with them. So that is happening.
And that's one customer potential. Do you have how many shots on goal do you have for a contract of that similar size?
Let's speak numbers. We have 8 tier ones. Okay. Let's divide it simply. Some of them are working right now on they are in the integration and development stage, so they are earlier in the game. Some of them are in early deployments and production, which means that they have production and fielding the customers, but at lower rate. And some of them are now shifting to high production rate and field much more, which is the revenue generator ramp up that we anticipate, the hockey stick. We believe that 2 of them will enter that in 2026, okay, and to the mass production. And we believe that additional will join them and shift for initial production in 2026. So,
and when this happens, I guess there'll be a press release about it. Like I don't know, but sometimes like these arrangements, like you're not allowed to say, or you can. I don't know. What's your arrangement with these tier ones? Or if you win some sort of big contract from a tier one, are you permitted to or PR that right away? So we know to jump into your stock even more. Or
I'm not sure what they will allow us, but first, if people saw that the quarterly jumped quarterly purchase order from one of them jumped from $200,000 to 1.6.
Yeah.
What more signals do you need to know that they're shifting gear from second gear to third gear and then fourth gear? It's already happening. It's 8 times the previous PO. So you can imagine that scalability will continue in such pace. So this is what we anticipate.
Do you have any projections, if you're allowed to say, it'd be great, I don't know, of based on everything you said, I guess you have some internal assumptions or ideas of how many of these you might win. So do you have any internal, I want to be careful what I say. I guess you got to be careful what you say too, but any kind of internal expectations of when you might be in a position to flip to profitability? Obviously, it's not going to be in 2025. You're talking about 2026 events, but do you have like a, can you say that, hey, based on everything and the backlog and these relationships we have, we think there's a good chance we can win 1 or 2 contracts and get to profitability in the second half of 2026? Are you in a position to say that at this point or not?
I have to see the contracts and how fast the US and Europe want to scale. I mean, they will definitely give the program of records because they have the budgets and they have the urgency to do so. Obviously, the shutdown is delaying the entire industry. It's clear. And the entire United States. But without that, in Europe and in United States, I believe that once that will be released, they will deliver, they will initiate those program of record and scalability. I don't know if it will be 4 quarters or 5 quarters or something like that, that they will move to high momentum of production. But the production will start, I think, from Q1 and then accelerate and accelerate. We are able to produce many thousand, tens of thousands, and so on. And software-wise, it's easy for me to sell more licensing. Is how fast the manufacturers can scale. And you spoke about Red Cat, and they won an amazing deal, and they are shifting to production, and it takes them more time. So that's the issue. If I have to deliver to companies like the Red Cat or Ondas or and Teledyne FLIR and so on, is how fast they can scale their production. So my anticipation, 4 quarters could be fair, getting there if they will be in high momentum.
Okay, great. Look, we're almost at the end of the time. If you have time, I have a video clip you guys made about secured autonomy, and it was really nice. Do you have time for me to play that for everyone?
Definitely.
All right,
I'm here.
Real-world threats don't wait for reports. They act in real time, even offline. At the host layer, compromises come through tampered ports, spoofed sensors, or malicious components. A single spoofed sensor swap is enough. The platform keeps operating, but trust is already lost. At the network layer, attackers exploit protocol flaws, inserting rogue traffic that masquerades as authorized communication. Operators see normal telemetry, while hidden commands are already being altered. At the application layer, weaknesses hide in insecure services or debug backdoors. A forgotten service becomes a hidden doorway, siphoning data while operations look routine. OS 3 cybersecurity software closes gaps at the host with trusted execution, runtime validation, and tamper-resistant forensic logs. At the network, OS 3 filters traffic, enforces protocols, and detects anomalies, catching threats before they spread. At the application, OS 3 enforces least privilege, blocks unauthorized tools, and prevents drift at runtime. Integration doesn't add complexity, it removes it. OS 3 works directly with autonomy hardware and software, embedding security where operations already happen. For OEMs, that means secure by design certifications, simplified compliance, recurring revenue, faster delivery, premium pricing, and reduced liability. Instead of uncertainty, you gain assurance. Instead of exposure, you gain control.
Okay, that's an introduction to secured autonomy, right? You just launched that recently?
Yes, I think that something that most of the industry or investors fail to understand, in my opinion, is that cybersecurity is going to be the biggest issue of autonomous platforms, being drones, robots, loitering munitions, and so forth. And they are very sophisticated elements that can make decisions, but easily can be hacked, penetrated, either before mission or during the mission, and then influence their activity. and that could be a very disastrous situation. We want to avoid that. We've seen cyber issues across different other markets. There is no reason why the same cyber issues will not happen over here in this market. And currently, there is a standard, there are regulations, and Mobilicom's solution, the OS3, is meeting those American standards that we helped to create. And the only solution in the market that can fit small-sized drones robot in the size.
I don't know. Did he freeze
Weight,
for everyone?
power.
I don't know if everyone else hears him.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. I don't know. You were just like freezing for a moment, but why don't you wrap up your thoughts right at the end of our time anyway? So closing thoughts, Oren.
So my closing thought is you finish with the secured autonomy, and Mobilicom is scaling up from provider of just the cybersecurity to bring a framework of partners on the hardware side, NVIDIA and Qualcomm partners that we already locked agreement with. And they chose Mobilicom OS3 as their solution of choice to secure their autonomous platforms. On the software side, we work with others like Paladin and so on that provide the AI solution for that. And we will have a combined solution and then a framework that can enable this industry. So we are going to revolutionize the industry with this credible innovation and take this leadership to great success business-wise.
Awesome. Oren, sounds great. We got your earnings report coming up next Thursday morning before the open. So if you want to be up to date on all that breaking news, again, make sure to be following Story Trading Spotlight, Story Trading _IR. I don't know, Rhett's in the back end there, but if there's time, you might have like 5 seconds left. If you go follow that account, we're going to spin a wheel right after this, Oren, and give someone $200 cash for following that account. Like, retweet, and follow. All right, Oren, thank you so much for joining us. Looking forward to our next conversation soon.
Thank you.
Okay, we are back. That was a Mobilicom interview, ticker symbol MOB. Wow, a lot of action while we were gone. I can't wait to dig into all of this. But Rhett, we're going to give away $200 right now, right?
Yep, right now. So let's see. Let me refresh real quick. Last stragglers coming in, but we got none. Let me just double check, make sure I got everyone in here. Boom, 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 boom. Yep. All right. So right now we are working with a total of only 11 people, guys. So
all right. 8% chance of winning, whatever that is.
Let me share my screen real quick, Ben, and then we're going to get right into it.
That's a 9% chance of winning. All right, here we go.
All right, guys. You ready to do a countdown, Ben, for me?
Countdown?
Yep.
Oh, wait. You know what? We have something new over here. Ready? Where is it? Just give me 1 second. We have something new. Here we go.
All right, let's see, guys.
We got sound effects now. That's pretty cool. Mike Digital
Link
Inc. Wow. Mike Digital Link wins $200. So Rhett will be in contact with you, or I don't know. Tell him how to get.
I'm going to reach out to him. I'm going to send them a DM. So be on the lookout for a DM coming from the Story Trading.
Sounds great. All right. Let's get back to some live. Oops, you're hitting it.
Sorry,
I'm hitting it. Here we go.
You're hitting it. There we go.
All right, back to the live trading. Look at QQQ getting rejected at that 200. What's that?
I see getting rejected again today.
Yeah, I love the 1 minute chart. I gotta tell you, the 1 minute chart is just so beautiful. That's all you need. You don't need to draw your own lines. These moving averages. This 1 minute chart, just unbelievable.
Oh, it looks like rejected. It was Mike Ellis inside our community that won. So it looked
that was Mike Ellis. Awesome. All right, so. Look at that, man. It is scary trying to play the upside, isn't it? There is risk down again, as I'm saying, all the way to that 50 DMA, 600 to 603. That could happen anytime between now and tomorrow, end of day. On the other hand, it's possible you bounce off this 20, kind of like on these other occasions, but I'm leaning towards a greater move towards the 50 because IWM's below 50. Simple as that. All right, So look at this outperformance on SkyT. I was playing this last night and I listened to the conference call. I feel like I need to get paid more for listening to conference calls. I mean, this conference call last night, all right, they beat earnings on revenue and EPS, and the whole conference call was quantum this, quantum that, quantum customers, quantum's huge. We have lots of quantum stuff coming around. I'm like, wow, this stock is going to be in play tomorrow because it's a quantum now it's a quantum company that's actually making money, right? Because I guess they're selling to these quantum companies trying to, create, I don't even know, whatever quantum solutions to then sell to some end customer. So they're like, it sounds like they're picks and shovels for the quantum. I mean, that's what it sounds like. I don't know the company too well, but look at this. This is pretty impressive. If the market was stable, I was going to play this, but I avoided it because the market was not stable today and it exploded anyway. That is insane price action on a day like today, breaking the 20 DMA and making a move. Who knows? This thing might get to $20 to $21 today with this relative strength, and the RSI not overbought yet. Too bad the market was weak because this was on my list of stocks to play today, but I didn't because of market weakness. So in any case, that's QQQ, IWM, UVXY. We're looking at that. Snap. Ooh, is this showing relative strength, or is it just simply following QQQ and that rejection over there? I don't know. I'm in it now with 750 calls expiring next week. We'll see what happens there. All right, what else do we got going on? Again, look, all these charts are actually just, with the exception of SkyT, Tesla also, same exact chart as Snap and QQQ on the 1 minute, getting rejected at just the same place. Galaxy showing a little relative strength over that, breaking over that 1 minute. So maybe that's a good sign that you'll continue to see relative strength into the close, but I wouldn't bet on it on a day like today, unless you're putting in a longer term account. But for like a short time frame account, I don't know. I'm not making that bet. I already tried Galaxy this morning, lost money on it, and I'm out. Look at ASTS. Where's the bottom there?
I was saying in the 60s, low 60s right there.
This is clean, beautiful chart. You have two supports, which looks like they're coinciding. You have 60.95 candle support, and then you have your 50 DMA at 62.49.
Yep.
So your support is what did I say? 60.95? 61. Let's round it up. 61 to 62.50 support. That's what I see. What do you see, Rhett?
No, I see the same exact thing, and I would be a buyer around those levels, especially coming
Yeah,
up.
there's a little bit of support at 64.10, the bottom of this wick on October 3rd. But it's getting there.
I actually did add this morning. I did add a starter position before we had this market.
You know what? You and I have been killing it on ASTS and our long-term retirement accounts this year.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know about you. I did.
It was a blessing. So
I sold some at 9.
Yep.
I sold some at 99. I don't know if you did.
Yeah, in the hundreds.
In the hundreds. I think I sold some at 99. I didn't sell it all. I probably, on the way up, I ended up selling half, I guess, maybe a little more than half. But this would be a good spot to reload the retirement account. I agree with you here. So it's coming up there, and the RSI is not oversold yet. And you know what? I think this is another clue. I really like to look at individual charts to give me an idea what the indices are going to do. And if you find enough individual charts of leading companies, then you can make an inference that, of the strength or weakness underneath the index, and that can kind of foretell what the index is going to do. So AST risk assets here, and it's a $23 billion company. So, but this tells me there's a little bit more room to the 50 DMA. So let's go back and look at that. So this, I don't know. I think we could be testing that 50 on the Qs. You have to look at more charts.
The overall charts, like,
and there's another one, the ONDS, another leading risk asset. This one, I would like to believe it's not going to go to the 200 DMA. I would like to believe that. So then I would go to the weekly chart. By the way, I did a valuation analysis. I've been doing it multiple times with help of AI, and it's coming up at some, big valuations based on all these acquisitions they've been making. They've used their currency. They're able to raise money at good prices. They just made another acquisition in some shares, some in cash. And based on all these acquisitions, I mean, it's coming up with like fair value of $10 to $13. I know it looks crazy if you look like at a trailing price to sales ratio, but market's forward looking, and they're like buying every drone company in sight right now. So at least in Israel, they're just folding everything up. So in any case, I'm not going to go by this deal. There's just too much room for this to go all the way to $3. I guess anything's possible. So I'm switching to the weekly, and on the weekly, you have 20-week moving average support at 514. So look, I don't know. I got to say it's possible though, because IWM is below the 50, and it potentially you're at the beginning of a little bit of a bear market for risk assets. You know what's going to turn this around? And I've said this before. See, I got tricked yesterday because when we went below the 50 on November 4th, I said I'm only going to get constructive on risk assets again if we close above the 50, or we hear from Powell, or not necessarily directly from Powell, or if there's evidence that starts pointing to that we will get that third rate cut right in December.
Fed Moran said I expect to cut in December. So
that happened today.
Yeah, 12:53 that came out during the interview.
So we need all that economic data that's missing. There's been mixed economic data on the jobs front. So we need that economic data after the shutdown ends. I don't know. The Fed's looking at. They said it's not going to be a big barrier, that they have access to private data and ADP and other stuff they look at. But for me to get constructive on IWM, again, I got tricked yesterday. But for now, I'm going to assume we're in a little bit of a bear market in risk assets until they tell us if the rates are going to drop again. So it's a little bit of a tricky situation if you're playing risk assets, which is why it's also surprising to see SkyT doing so well today, up 30%. But those examples are few and far between right now. Mike Ellis, yeah, there you go. Winner. All right, beautiful, Mike. All right. Let's see what else we got going on today. Let's recap. I mean, it's all about looking at the QQQ right here this morning.
Yep.
And I got the IWM up here. I'm still trying to trade some snap. Here's Tesla. Rhett, it's trying to break this 201 minute. Have you tried another Tesla trade, or will you going into this
let's
vote?
Look right now on the stream with these people. So let's see. Let's
3
try to
p.m.
find
vote.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, this is a matter of, for me, both technicals and trying to anticipate the catalyst coming, the vote, and the sentiment, right? The market psychology and reaction to the catalyst. Put it all together. What do you get, Rhett? Do you get a buy here, or do you get hold on?
I think you get a buy here.
You get a buy here?
Yeah. I'm going to pick up a few options.
All right. Which one? I'll follow you.
I'm going to probably get the Tesla TSLL calls, probably the 20s.
TSL 20 this week?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to follow you. November 7th?
Yep.
20. Right. They're $3 by $10, that one?
Yep.
Okay. Did he buy it yet?
Yeah, I just did.
All right. I put a market order in, and I got it filled at 108. What did you get filled at?
I think I got filled at 109. Picked up 5 for now.
There we go. I picked up 10. All right. So there we go. A live trade right there.
With you guys. There you go.
This is where I get tricked up sometimes, because I love what I do. Our story trading methodology of trying to predict breakouts before they happen. Hey, you did that too, Rhett. Look, I turned you into a story trader. I think
yeah, definitely.
A pure technical trader over here probably be like, let's wait for confirmation. Let's either find a support to bounce off of, or let's break above this moving average, or whatever your lines are. This is the line I'm using for resistance right now. But as a story trader, I make my decisions based holistically.
Yep.
Trying to anticipate the anticipation of others ultimately. And we do that by looking at the 4 pillars of catalyst, sentiment, fundamentals, and technicals. We put it all together, and we're trying to predict the future. And we're trying to say, we are going to break above some resistance line here this afternoon, because we got, event anticipation. The vote's at 3 p.m., right?
No, yeah, 3 p.m. I think it's 3 p.m. CT time. So I think it's going to be after the market closed today.
Okay, even better in a way. I like
Yep.
that. So people can't trade that intraday. So if they want exposure to that, they'll have to buy before the market closes. So that's how we do it at Story Trading. We're looking at things holistically and trying to anticipate investor psychology, trader psychology, and just be a step ahead of their own actions. So there you go. There's your trade idea, fueled by catalyst, sentiment, technicals, and not really, well, in a way, fundamentals too, right? If it passes, there's some fundamentals associated with Elon Musk staying on board and being fully motivated to turn Tesla into a $10 trillion company. What is the threshold there? He has to make it how much? Is it 10 trillion?
Oh, it's some crazy number. I don't know
Crazy
it off
number.
the top of my head. But I mean, look, you never want to bet against Elon. If there's one guy that's
No,
gonna get it
you
done,
can't.
it's going to be that guy. So
Yeah, it's stupid. You can't bet against Elon. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. That's the story trading process. And if you love it, I love it. I think, look, I'm up almost 600%
it's helped me
this
out
year.
significantly as well.
Well,
'Cause I used to be a
now I'm
huge-
probably only up 570%, 60% because I got wiped out today. But anyway, all right. So if you like that methodology, head on over to
So
Story
the
Trading.
U.S. breaking news just now, guys, before we
What?
log off. U.S. adds silver and copper to critical minerals list. The U.S. Department of Interior has added copper, silver, and is it there?
Hmm.
Oh,
No.
I thought you were putting it up there. Of critical materials, increasing likelihood that these materials could be included in future tariff policies.
That's fun. I'm not playing Catalyst
It's
on a
up
daily
there
basis.
for the copper and silver plays for you guys that do play those. And with that, look forward to having you guys inside the community. You can head over to storytrading.com/discord. And I look forward to seeing you guys inside. And congrats to Mike on winning the $200.
All right, we'll see you. And I'll probably do a 3 p.m. live stream for Discord again, or 3:30 heading into earnings. There's a bunch of earnings. Just 1 second. That are reporting tonight. They are going to be starting with on this list
SMR,
DraftKings.
right?
What's that?
SMR and all those.
Yeah, hold on. It starts with on this list. Wow, look at Aspen down 43%. I think it starts with 4Shift and down. Okay, so 4 DNA, Carmen, which we've been making a killing on, DraftKings, SMR, Nectar, Coda. Oh, you can see it. There's a lot. So we'll be doing some live trading about 2 hours from now into after hours. All right. Take care, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Awesome.
Head on over to storytrading.com or just go to our bio to join our Discord community.
Take care.
Bye-bye.